Hello and welcome to Updog Sports Talk. Today we are actually doing a recording for NCAA March Madness. My name is Dilbert, and joining me today is Wingus the Dingus.
Dilbert and Dingus break
Yeah,
down March Madness. That is today's show.
if you're
But
familiar, if you're familiar with the comic strip Dilbert.
I mean, what happened to you? We were known as the bearded council for a long time. We even got comments on YouTube thinking us and the intern were triplets because we all had glasses and had beards. And now look at you getting rid of it. This like I don't even think we're allowed to have people without beards on the show, but here we are.
Two things. One, I did it to mess with my family. Two, technically it wasn't supposed to be part of this show today. So, shout out to our guest. Hope you get better. Yeah, let's kick it off. We are gonna do a debate of
Yeah.
every game in the tournament.
Absolutely, and of course, we let off sounding like doofuses, and we will be very entertaining throughout this, but we'll provide you some good nuggets as well to help you pick your brackets during this March Madness season.
Yeah, pay
So,
attention to Wingus the Dingus, not Dilbert.
we will be doing this region by region. So the West region.
East, I thought you said Weast.
So we kick off the West region with Arizona versus the Long Island Sharks, or if you're in the Northeast, Sharks. Um, it- Long Island's been pretty cool this year. They've been having a really good year, and they've shown they can compete with some top opponents, but I don't think it's happening against Arizona. This Arizona team is too good.
um, One thing I will say, and then I'll give you my pick. Um, Back in March Madness 2008, there was a team called Long Island Brooklyn. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think about it at all, but they had a Long Island campus in Brooklyn, and their basketball team was terrible. And in real life, they ended up folding and joining in with the Long Island. But I took that team to like 15 straight national championships. And I really wanted to pick Long Island here, but I believe Arizona may be the best team in college basketball.
Yeah, Arizona is too much for a lot of teams. And by the way, Long Island, they were the Long Island Blackbirds and they made their last tournament appearance, which is also entertaining. We go to Villanova and Utah State. Utah State's a team that I actually like. I think we actually got some notice from the Utah State Burnerverse on Twitter yesterday because I mentioned it felt like a 9 seed was very low for them. This is a well coached team under Jared Calhoun, and really just very good. Villanova is kind of this team that's just kind of. I feel like they're there. Like they didn't win a single game against UConn or St. John's, but they beat everybody else in the Big East. They're kind of just there. It feels like.
Yeah. It's not the same Villanova that we had seen in years past. So, because of that, I want to pick Utah State, but they did beat everybody else in the Big East, which is kind of the eye test caliber of Utah State, maybe slightly better in some aspects. I don't know. 8 9 seeds were already 50-50 on 8 9 seeds, so I kind of want to throw Utah State over.
Yeah, I agree. Go with the 9 seed in this one. We're pretty tight on it, but again, when in doubt, go with the 9 seed. We have Wisconsin and High Point. This is a game that's going to feature a lot of scoring. Both teams definitely know how to fill the hoop. The one thing to watch out for here is, Wisconsin relies on the threes a lot. It makes them a dangerous team. It's why they managed to beat Michigan on the road this year. But on the other hand, it kind of makes Wisconsin a little bit vulnerable. Um, High Point is definitely a better version than last year's. But I think what scares me about High Point in this specific game, I feel like they might be too popular of an upset pick, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, especially since they're the Miami that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a really good program the last several years, even before they made their first tournament appearance last year.
But when you look at what Wisconsin just did in the Big Ten championship, kind of want to go Wisconsin.
Yeah, I got to go with Wisconsin here too. And then we have Arkansas and Hawaii. Hawaii back in the tournament for the first time in a decade. They pulled off a 13-4 upset last time they were in the tournament. Arkansas, obviously a very scary offense team. Hawaii, on the other hand, very defense focused. This team can play terrific defense, but at the same time, they have some guys who can score. And one of my favorite players in college basketball, Isaac the Big Fish Johnson. He is a guy who has played in the tournament before, had big performances in the tournament, so he knows how to get it done on this stage. Can Hawaii pull this off, or is the Arkansas offense just too much?
Um, is Arkansas more of 3-point, or are they just?
They're really good, and they have Acuff, who is one of the top three players in college basketball.
Uh I want to say Hawaii, but I don't. I don't know if they can get it done.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. Probably the safe route here, the cop out route is take Arkansas. I think Hawaii is going to give them a game and frustrate them, but it's going to be, can Hawaii make enough shots to manage to keep up and not let Arkansas go running? That'll definitely be that's one of the first round games that intrigues me.
They're not Kansas. There are Kansas.
I will say though, like I think Arkansas is going to be a very trendy pick to go far, because they won the SEC tournament, and that's kind of one of those things you want to watch out for a little bit because usually sometimes the power conference team that wins the conference tournament gets a lot of hype and then doesn't do as much in the NCAA tournament. Oddly enough, conference tournament success does not lead to NCAA tournament success. But that's something that we'll need to address later. BYU versus the winner of NC State and Texas. Um, I'm honestly very inclined to go with BYU here. NC State and Texas are just not inspiring teams to me at all.
No, but I think if NC State beats Texas, they do have a good shot at beating BYU. I don't really think Texas really shouldn't beat NC State, if we're honest.
Yeah,
They
but
can, but they
the one
should.
problem is NC State is not playing good down the stretch.
No.
That is my concern with them. But they pull it together, start playing better. NC State definitely has the better shot of pulling this off than Texas does, like you said. But yeah, got to go with BYU here. We go to the 3-14 matchup. Gonzaga and Kennesaw State. The Owls back in the tournament, for the second time in
Ooh.
program history. I will say this is one of the so like I had my dog start filling out a bracket earlier, which actually really is just like I threw two tennis balls and whichever one she picked was that team she picked. Um, and she did not pick a lot of upsets, but the first big one she picked was Kennesaw State over Gonzaga.
I can
Um,
see it.
I don't
Gonzaga's
see it.
really good.
I think Kennesaw State will try to test them a little bit. Um, Gonzaga dealing with some injury woes of their own right now. I think that could make things dangerous. Kennesaw State is just one of those scrappy teams that really likes to frustrate an offense like Gonzaga, and they might be able to do that for a lot of this game. But I think down the stretch that lasts like 5 or so minutes might be tough.
Yeah,
Or
I
during
mean,
during clutch time, as USA Network puts it.
Gonzaga has like the most experience in the tournament, so like
Yeah,
it's tough to pick against them against any matchup. like a 3-14 seed, it's picking against them is like a, you know what? Let me just throw all my money away.
Yeah, I mean, last year Gonzaga was like an 8 seed. They had to play Houston, who went on to the championship in the second round. So that ended their streak of Sweet 16s. But before that, like Gonzaga was a team that you could just right into the Sweet 16 and forget about it. Um, so that definitely is an interesting one there. Now we go to the next game here: the Miami Hurricanes taking on the Missouri Tigers. Miami kind of a nice, well, very quiet but good rebound year under their first year coach, Jai Lucas. Missouri, just another one of these SEC teams that kind of got in because of the logo patch. Not an inspiring team, but here's the big key with this game. This game is in St. Louis. Huge home field advantage here for Missouri. What do you think about this one?
I do feel like this is one of those where like Missouri got thrusted into the tournament. And it's going to be one of the it could be one of those where like they could annoyingly win this game to justify them being there.
Yeah.
Like everybody will rip them the entire time, and then when the clock hits zero, then everybody will just shut up because there's nothing to say at that point. So like that's how I see this game going.
Yeah. It feels like Missouri wins, but it'll be very frustrating for those of us that felt like they were not a tournament team. Um, we go to Purdue and Queen. Queens, one of the first time teams in the tournament. I forgot to mention Cal Baptist was the other. So congrats to the Queens Royals for making their first appearance. I think that place is very excited. They got the street dog and everything going there, but Purdue is a tough animal to play.
Yeah, Purdue's really good at basketball. They're not, and engineering, and then not really anything else.
Yeah. Um, this is true. I think we'll have Purdue moving on there. We go to the second round here.
Just move
Arizona,
Arizona over.
Arizona and Utah State. Arizona is just too good. Love this Utah State team. They're a very good team, but Arizona is just on another level. That team is just so difficult. So yeah, I got the Wildcats there as well. Now this is where I think some interesting debate will come in.
Yes.
Wisconsin and Arkansas. Again, two teams that are. This is going to be a track meet. Both teams can really score. It is very intriguing because we've seen both coaches, Greg Gard of Wisconsin and John Calipari of Arkansas. We've seen them underachieve in the tournament sometimes. But Calipari, when he got to Arkansas last year, was led them to be the only double-digit seed in the Sweet 16.
I want to pick Wisconsin. Calipari knows how to put a team together, though, and they're healthy.
Yeah.
And I think
No,
I not saying that they would beat Arizona, but of this game, if you had to choose between the two to have a better chance at beating Arizona, I think it would be.
actually, I'm going to disagree with you on that. I think Wisconsin would have the better chance of beating Arizona just because of their 3-point hitting style. Again, by the slimmest of margins. But that being said, I think when we look at this, kind of zooming out a little bit into the picture of a full bracket, I think if we could end up looking foolish having Wisconsin in the Sweet 16, and then you do lose the high point in that first game. Arkansas, I feel like we're taking less of a risk with them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so we'll have Arkansas moving on there. Gonzaga and BYU. BYU actually did make a run to the Sweet 16 last year. Did not um, did not realize that for a little bit, but otherwise BYU is kind of underachieved a little bit when it's come to tournament time. Usually they go about a game and that's all. That being said, I mean, BYU is a ton of talent, but just for whatever reason, BYU just cannot win against those elite teams.
Yeah,
And
and
Gonzaga is one of those teams.
they've got a decent amount of people out too.
Yeah. I mean, BYU is the most electric scorer in college basketball. So they're, while shorthanded, they are definitely not lacking for talent, but it's just really hard to pick against Gonzaga here.
Yeah, anytime really. I said it earlier, um, but yeah, I think this is one of those games where the magic kind of runs out for BYU.
Yeah. And then Missouri and Purdue, again, close to home for Missouri. Not necessarily too far from home for Purdue either. But I think Purdue is just the better team here. Missouri against some of the more elite teams they've gone against. It doesn't matter if they home field advantage or not. They have gotten knocked around pretty good. I think most notably, I think the only time they played a Big Ten team this year was against Illinois, and they lost by almost 40 in that game. So yeah, I think Purdue moves on with this one.
I agree.
We go to Arizona and Arkansas. We did have all top four seeds going here, but I think we're about to get a little bit more creative. Arizona and Arkansas, these two, again, just very explosive teams, but I think I like Arizona here just because I believe in the Wildcats defend a little bit better than Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean Arkansas's defense is not the best thing to watch. They give up 80 points a game. So
Yeah.
like the only difference is they score 89 points a game. So you get a tough defense in there, and I think that kind of depletes the magic there. So yeah, I agree. Arizona moves on.
Yep. But then finally, you get Gonzaga and Purdue, two teams that have been pretty reliable when it comes to the tournament lately. Purdue has been a lot better in the tournament after the loss to Fairleigh Dickinson a few years ago. But Gonzaga, I kind of want to pick Gonzaga here. Kind of this bucks our trend of one versus twos in the Elite Eight.
I mean, when you look at everything, they're close to each other. Arizona has more experience with top 25 teams. Again, top 25 is a little bit arbitrary.
Yeah,
Like,
especially this day and age.
yeah, so like I would agree with that. I think Gonzaga is one of those teams where they were the 8 seed last year, and this year they're looking to be like, we're back, all right? We're here to stay.
Yeah. Yep. So Gonzaga over Purdue there. And of course, at this point, too, we've moved, this is the West region. So we've moved out west. And I think that gives more of an advantage to Gonzaga because they're from the West. And then finally in the Elite Eight, Gonzaga versus Arizona. Tommy Lloyd going up against Mark Few, his former mentor. Does student overcome mentor in this one?
No.
You're going Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Really? Oh man, Arizona is one of my favorite teams to pick in the whole tournament.
It's one of those where I just can't put I feel like there has to be a semi lower seed, and I think Gonzaga's of anybody that's not a 1 or 2 seed, Gonzaga has a good shot at doing it. I don't know, dude. I kind of want to put Gonzaga.
And Arizona was one of those teams like I had going at least the Final Four without a doubt.
Yeah, I think in one bracket I already filled out, I had Arizona versus Houston. So going against my other bracket here, but
Gonzaga dealing with some injury woes. Can they really go this far?
They got Huff is out, and that's it. And he'll be back by then.
All right, we'll do it. Screw it. Well, let's roll the dice here with Gonzaga. Again, I'm obviously a very good team, a team that knows how to win in the tournament. Um, I think it would be a massive upset, but hey, this is March Madness. It can happen.
Yeah. It'll probably be all one seeds again, but whatever.